Lots going on in Maharashtra, where it comes down now to the BJP versus Congress fight on 75 seats. Not just that, the latest also coming in, enough rebels, independents in the fray. What is it looking like at this point of time? Let's cut across to Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, who would be shortly dispatched off to his home state of Maharashtra to cover this election. Rajdeep, first up, the direct fights matter, especially between the BJP and the Congress, facing off on 75 seats. The importance and the implication of it, Rajdeep.
Preeti, it's huge. In a large state like Maharashtra, you have several battles within a battle. But there is no bigger battle than Congress versus BJP direct fights. Remember, a majority of these 75 face-to-face fights will come from Vidarbha. It has 62 seats. It was a traditional Congress bastion that was breached by the BJP first in 2014 when they won about 44 of the 62 seats. Came down to 29. But the BJP, with leaders like Devendra Fadnavis, will believe that they have to get back Vidarbha to be in pole position to come back to power. On the other hand, the Congress will hope that what happened in the Lok Sabha, where they did very well in Vidarbha, will be repeated. The so-called DMK, Dalit Muslim Kunbi factor. Vidarbha, I think, Preeti, along with Marathwada, are the two regions that could well decide not just which becomes the single largest party, but who forms the government in Maharashtra. And therefore, these direct fights, which traditionally the BJP in recent times has done very well in, will really test these two national parties. This is a bit like Haryana, where you had a direct fight. In Maharashtra, it's not all across the state, but more specifically in Vidarbha and a sprinkling in other regions.
Rajdeep, one is, of course, these direct battles, especially where the Congress and the BJP facing off, because if you look at it, 2019, of the 66 direct fights between the BJP and the Congress could only manage 16 wins. They are hoping that the Lok Sabha momentum changes that. However, the BJP is hoping that the Haryana momentum they can leverage. But on the other side, Rajdeep, what about the game of independents and rebels? That's all we have heard through the course of today. Now, date of taking back your nomination is over, and yet, still, there are enough rebels and independents in the fray.
Look, I think both of them in the last 24 hours have been desperately trying to get back to ensure that many of the rebels that they have withdraw. From what I can see at the moment, they've both been reasonably successful. Clearly, there are enough independents out there who will contest, rebels who will contest as independents, who can spoil the chances of the key players. But I think the rebel factor is much more in the Mumbai, Konkan belt, and afflicting not just these two main parties, but all parties. You're seeing it in the Shiv Sena, you're seeing it in the Uddhav Sena. I think Sharad Pawar, if I were to say, is the one leader who's been able to be most effective in neutralizing any rebel factor. All the other rebels, all the other parties have struggled to deal with rebels. But eventually, Preeti, because it's an election where 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 votes could make a difference, managing not just rebels but smaller parties could make a difference. In Vidarbha, for example, the Vanchit Bahujan Agadi of Prakash Ambedkar, if it picks up 5-6% of the vote, they got less than 1% in Lok Sabha, they can make a difference in these tightly contested seats. So I think it is not just about the rebels, but it's about managing the overall environment in Maharashtra that's important. It's not about Mahal. This is about management now.
Not so much about Mahal, but management, and who manages this election better. Well, we'll soon find out. Thank you, Rajdeep, for joining us. We'll see you in Maharashtra.